G'day folks, time for a little bit of a Saturday clean up and a look at some UPS units and things. Jay the Aussie popped in yesterday and grabbed a couple to try out for camping. He wants to try and use them as a standalone inverter, but they're the APC kind, so I'm not sure if they'll run without a mains connection first, so he can have fun playing with them. I'm just putting others away and stripping batteries out of the unneeded battery packs and things like that. That one I'll keep together. The other one we butchered the cable off to attach to the car batteries, so that's pretty much no use. They're 24 volt, which is good. That's the batteries that came out of the other main unit. They're just two 16 or 18 amp hour batteries, whatever they are. APC sell that as one assembled kit with the fuse and everything on it. You just plug it in, but I can rebuild it myself. Just connect that across the other ones, 100 amp fuse. So yeah, and I've plenty of dead ones to play with too. I've got all that to get rid of. Oh, actually no, I'm not going to get rid of those two. I'm going to test those two, fix it, change batteries in that one, throw that in the autopsy bin, and strip this one out for batteries. I don't need the second expansion pack, especially since I don't have the proper cables for them. So I'm going to keep one expansion pack, but I'm just going to jury rig some other cables. I'll come up with my own connection type and get rid of these sockets. So it's not all bad, but trying to refit them with these SLAs is pretty expensive, so I'll see if I can use slightly bigger but fewer batteries, maybe some 17 or whatever they are, 18 amp hour batteries, if they fit, which they should. Yeah, we'll do that. But for now I'm just vacuuming floors, checking things out. Checked out the fire extinguisher and cleaned it up, it's all good. Yeah, it's a lot tidier down there. And likewise, last time I ran Black Betty, I kept tripping the breaker immediately, so the core's, I think the core's oversaturating. The secondary's okay, but somebody said to me the core might be damaged and oversaturating, so maybe there's an issue with the laminations, or the primary itself is short because it's pulling ridiculous amounts of amps for no good reason. Like straight off the bat it's pulling high amps, and then the current we're getting out of the secondary was ridiculous. I was pulling 14-inch arcs off it the first time I ran it. So, no, there's something really wrong with that. I think I'll retire it. Might give it one last run tonight, but that's about it. So yeah, lots of batteries and things around to play with. I'll get all this stuff out of the way and get on with it. It's nice and tidy outside too now, get rid of the big UPS. Yeah, the other thing I want to do is rodent proof this computer for this season. I identified the cause of the rats getting in here. It's because the pear tree out back is a nice source of food for them. So unless I destroy the pear tree, I'm just going to get rats now and then. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to get rats now and then, and my computer equipment needs to be rodent proof. So since I didn't get the side cover for this, I'm going to make one out of clear acrylic and stick a case fan in there, make sure all the slots and things are covered up. Try and nothing can squeeze through there, but I'll seal it up as best I can. I just don't want rats running across the graphics card or something like that, because that's a nice little platform for them to run across and pee on, and once they do that, well, anyone who's lost computer hardware to rat pee knows the frustration. So I'll do that before the pears really go into season and start dropping on the ground, or the birds start eating them and dropping them on the ground. That's usually the main cause of it. But yeah, got my little router up there. Cable City, they're everywhere. Okay, well, not too dirty. The heatsink's pretty bad, but that had sticky smoke residue on it when I got it. I only gave it a quick brush off because the compressed air wouldn't even get rid of it. So I'm going to pull that off and replace it with this big chunky P4 one. That heatsink's only barely that thick, so it's half the thickness of this one. Although it does have a copper core on it, I hear these alloy ones are a slightly better choice, so I'm going to pop that off and put a bigger one on it. Not that it's had any heat issues, I just don't want the gooiness collecting more and more dust and eventually just becoming uncleanable. I mean, it'd have to come off and get washed in solvent anyway. But yeah, everything else is pretty happy. I'll pop that card out and give it a clean. It's a shame it sits so low. It's like a vacuum cleaner. I'll just blow air back through here. But yeah, pretty good considering some of the PCs I've seen on Reddit. Like one that came out of a metallurgy lab, the whole thing was just nothing but rust. I don't know what they do in a metallurgy lab, but it must be highly corrosive. probably using acids and things like that. Or the old 286s that came out of BlueScope steel. They were old compact systems, desktops and things. Everything was just covered in black, like thick black, pitch black steel mill dust. It's quite incredible most of them still worked. But then again, that was bulletproof, old 286 compact technology, so these days I bet you they go through a lot more computers now. Like shop floor computers, process management computers, foreman's office, that sort of thing. Yeah, unfortunately it looks like some of the pins are broken off there. I'll have to find some new standoffs for it. Those two are okay, sort of. Yeah, I've got boxes of these things, so I'll just find one with good standoffs on it or replace those ones. Make it all good again. Yeah, that's what's inside the PowerWare pure sine wave ones, 9 series. Various MOSFETs, or probably even IGBTs these days. But, yeah, they're good units. Got 4 3-pin plug outputs. Yeah, nice stuff. I'm going to pull the battery pack out of this one, reco it, and probably replace the one that's in there at the moment and give it a good clean. This one's nice and clean, but the other one has a lot of running hours in the shop, so it's going to be full of a light film of dust. So if I've got 2 of these, at least I can swap them around. Just take one out of service, swap it for this one, or the cleaned reconditioned one again. It's quite handy that way. Or at least in future I could just clean it and replace the battery pack anyway, but yeah. I'm going to be using second-hand batteries. That has 3 of them in it. Just slides out through the front. Yeah, it should swing down and out. But yeah, you take the plate out and the whole lot pulls out and just unplugs. Yeah, this is a Landsaver 1 kVA. Not a sine wave one. This is just a normal, I guess you'd say half wave AC UPS. Still does a good job, works fine, and actually works off grid. So I can just stuff batteries in this thing, 36 volts, and just push the power button and it'll come up. So you don't actually have to be connected to grid before it will come online. Not a bad little unit, it's just 36 volts. It's a bit inconvenient if you want to run it off car batteries or something like that. I don't know about running other appliances off this sort of thing. I gather you could run monitors, of course. You'd have to be able to run a screen off it. But other appliances, I'm not too sure. I know the pure sine wave one is a much better power filtration, everything like that. But these ones, who knows, if anyone's got any good or bad experiences with them, let me know. I want to know if they're worth keeping anyway. There's another one down there. That's a PowerWare 5115. So it's 1400i. Oh yeah, 1.4 kVA. There we go. 950 watts. Okay. So 1.5 kVA would be roughly 1000 watts. That's not bad. It's also got network surge protection on it. No phone line surge protection. So I got 1 kVA, 1.4. These ones here, can't remember what they were. It's a 1000A. 1 kVA. Yeah, this is 1 kVA, 700 watts. 36 volt input, 25 amps. So I'd need 3 batteries to rebuild one of the extra battery expansion boxes. It's also got network surge protection on it. Yeah, not a bad idea. Worth keeping if we can find them. Okay, well I packed that one full of new batteries, which is really easy. It's just a plastic caddy. I should have showed it as I had it apart, but it's just a plastic caddy with 3 spots and 3 or a set of leads for 36 volt series configuration. So that's all together. I'll give it a run. Hold it longer. Yeah. It's happy. Don't know if I've got output, but we can test that. Off. very good. If dust wasn't an issue, I'd just hot swap the battery pack in the other one. I'm pretty sure you can swap these out while they're running. It'd be silly not to. Yeah, because the whole thing just plugs in the back. You don't even have to have a loom to disconnect, it just pops out of its plug. It's a really nice modular system. So yeah, I'll put the plastic shielding and stuff back on, put this back together, and we'll get the other one out of service. Well, I honestly thought that cooler would have a copper core considering how thin it is, but it doesn't. So yeah, it's done pretty well considering how small it is, but it's got to go. I'm going to chuck one 3 times thicker on it. Yeah, that's really surprising. More powerful CPU, which may produce less heat than a Pentium 4, but still. I'll chuck a big Pentium 4 cooler on it and that'll make it really happy. Stock coolers are pretty damn good compared with other aftermarket coolers. I could buy a cheap aftermarket cooler that looks really fancy and they don't always perform as well as the stock ones. I've seen that in plenty of CPU cooler shootouts in the PC magazines. A lot of the aftermarket ones fail compared with the stockies. Well, this one's pretty pathetic, but the bigger ones. Hey, hood top computer work. Such a nice day apart from the wind. Yes. Guess I'll make that fit in there. Brand new in the wrapper. 500 gigabytes. I'm going to stick with the 80 gig primary SATA drive, but I'll just use this as a bulk storage straight out of the box. And a new SATA cable for it too. I've had them sitting around for a while, but they're brand new gigabyte ones. Nice. I've got 4 ports down there. Now I've got to get in there somehow. Yeah, there we go. Before I put the new hard drive in, I figured I'll do the construction work first, just in case something bad happens, which it doesn't really, but you know. So, a bit of the old acrylic cover from the 40 kVA UPS, just standard material. So, I'm just going to use a 2.5mm drill, just drill into each there, right there, and just use some self-tappers. That's all it needs. It's a workshop computer. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll work. And I'm going to mount a big case fan here just to pull any air out through the front, which is all vented. Not a bad idea at all. Could even have a pusher-puller fan, just drawing all the way through. This is another mount there. Well, that's that side done, and the hard drive and everything's in. I've just been trying to find the cover for the other side, but maybe I didn't get one. It does look squashed enough that I probably never had one on it. But I swore I did, so I'll look around. If not, I'll just make something to cover the hole there. Nothing can really get through in here. Yeah. I know there's a cover around somewhere. I hope I didn't throw it out. Well, it's alive and working. I just rebooted to make sure it found the hard drive, and it has. I'm just going to have to go into the hard drive utility and do a proper format on it, especially since it's brand new. It's probably not, doesn't even have a format like file allocation table or NTFS. Who knows? And yeah, the case fan, the chassis fan that I put in there was brand new, but it was also a dud. That's probably why it got put back on the shelf in its box and mixed up with the good ones. You'll love it when computer techs do that. I got a ton of stuff from my friend's former housemate who was a computer tech, and half of it was broken equipment, but he put it back in the box and put it back on the shelf, so there was literally 2 carloads of crap, but half of it worked. So yeah, be careful what you get. No big issue here, it didn't short anything out, it just didn't run. So I've got an old Cooler Master case fan in there, which is doing fine. It's a 2-speed or variable speed one. So anyway, let's format this hard drive and make it work again. I need some storage space. There we go. Formatting now. That'll do for this afternoon. Better clean up. It's taken a lot longer than I was expecting, but at least we've got good results. Everything's working healthy, and yeah, UPS has new batteries in it. Thanks for watching.